Hi, Linda here with Mom's Easy Eats. Today I'm going to be making a pot of just stuff I got laying around the house. And I've got some boneless country style ribs. And I've got some sausage we get from a local store around here. And just a lot of vegetables I had laying around. I have a zucchini from the garden, some bell pepper, some onion, and diced tomatoes, lots of seasoning. I'm going to be using a cabbage, and I'm going to put them in this big pot and just let them cook for a while until the pork is tender and the cabbage is tender, and it's going to be tasty. And I'm going to start putting this in. Now I've put my canned tomatoes, and I used diced with basil, garlic, and oregano, and then I laid the meat on top, and I'm just going to add some seasonings to this as I go along. Some black pepper, salt, some chicken bouillon. I want to flavor this as I'm going to be adding rice in here, so I want it nice and flavorful. Some onion powder. I'm going to add a little bit of Old Bay seasoning in here, because it's good on everything. A little Italian seasoning. Oh, a little parsley. And then once I have I'm going to add some water to this, and I'll be adding more canned tomatoes when my husband brings them, and cabbage for sure. I'm going to add some bay leaf on this when I get the liquid in there. And we're going to start cooking this and get it fired up, and it should be good. It's going to cook a while, but it'll be really tasty. Now I'm going to let this pork cook for a little bit before I add the sausage in there, because I want it to cook longer than the other stuff. And I'm going to add these 2 bay leaves. I'm just going to put them right on top, and then I'll fish them out later. And then our vegetables will go in after a little while. I want this to cook for about 20-30 minutes or so before I start adding other things. And the cabbage will be the first thing I add in there. I almost forgot to add the garlic. That would have been a shame. Then I'm going to add the cabbage in here in a minute. So I'm putting this Philly cheesesteak sausage in here. We really like this. This has fresh peppers and onions in it. It's going to be super tasty in here. I've got my cabbage down in here, and I'm adding these tomatoes. They're whole tomatoes in a sauce. I poured the sauce in there, and I'm just cutting these in thirds. And then I'm going to add these other vegetables right in here. They should have been in here already, but cabbage took a little while getting here. You know how it is when your husband's shopping. And get this up to a nice boil, and it'll be super tasty, I'm telling you. Put the lid back on this and get this going, and when it's almost done, I'm either going to add the rice to this, or I'm going to cook the rice on the side and just serve it with it. And I added a couple of cans of water to this. I might add a little bit more. My food's done, and let's get a closer look at this. You ready to eat this?
Oh yeah.
My fork. Okay. Look, there's beans and rice and pork ribs, the Philly cheesesteak sausage, cabbage, peppers, onions, squash from the garden, and tomatoes. And so it tastes good?
Yeah, very good. Very, very good.